Thank you. Thank you for relogging in. Am I audible, right? Yes. Am I audible? Thank you, Mr. Sandeep. Thank you, Mr. Rudra. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So we have around 20 to 30 minutes. So what we'll do is I would request everybody to talk and discuss on three specific things. One, introduce yourself, your name, company's name, and what are you doing, your business, or if you're a student. Second thing, if you have any good feedback, yes. Any specific technical questions on the pertaining to solar, yes, please. And if you are looking for any opportunities, you can directly personally message me in terms of job, internship, or in terms of business, so that will not will have a brief over here so that we can understand how it is, so that everybody gets a chance. Okay, so should I come one by one, or you'll raise your hands, sir? How will we do this? Fine. So I'll start from my x and y axis from 0, and I'll come one by one. Fine. Because nobody is raising. Just make it simple. Just introduce yourself, sir, so that you may be helpful for others, or we could helpful be support to you. We understand. So we'll start. We have only 11 participants. I think yes, giving a break is a big thing. But anyways, so we have to start. One person is waiting, and so we'll start from my top left axis. I'll unmute you, sir. B3E3. Your name is not reflecting here. I'll unmute you, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir. Mute all. Okay. Okay. And the gentleman who's having a helmet in his background, black color helmet. Your name is not reflecting here. I'll unmute you.
Yes.
Yes.
Sir, good evening, sir.
Good evening. Yes.
Sir, I am Rajmohan. I worked as site engineer in Gigawatt Solar Private Limited, Hyderabad.
Okay. Gigawatt from Hyderabad. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Any specific feedback? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. This is more useful, sir, for me.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. That's all, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. So we have discussed with Mr. Anand. I'll take Mr. Vasudevan, sir. I'll unmute you, sir. Hi, sir. Sir, we could. Sir, we are not able to hear you, sir. Sorry, we are not able to hear you.
I have a problem with I have a problem.
Okay, okay, okay. Fine, thank you, sir. I'll just. Fine, sir. If possible, I'll take you back, sir. And thank you. I'll move you. Yeah. It's Mr. Vasudevan. He's from Chennai and Bangalore. He's an engineer, and now he's retired, and he's enjoying 2 solar plants, one in Chennai and one in his Bangalore residence. And first, he's happy with this thing. And with respect to Chennai, he has not been paying his EB bill for last 2 to 3 years. Right, sir? Thank you. Okay, I'll take Mr. Lokesh Agarwal. Yes, Mr. Lokesh. Yes.
Yeah, this is Lokesh Agarwal. We are into manufacturing of LEDs actually. We have a plant in Andhra. I was very much, we are doing solar street lights and floodlights, not in the solar plants. So I was very much interested in doing this also. That was the curiosity that brought me here.
Thank you, sir. Yes. Mr. Murthy.
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir. Yes.
So myself is Dakshinamurthy. So I am basically an academic person, so more into research like science, doing biology.
Okay.
So I came to know you through a purchase of one of my inverter battery, sometimes long back.
Okay.
Some 2 years before, and through which I have your email, WhatsApp number, and occasionally you send me WhatsApp message. So through which I came to know about you. And so I have also personal interest towards solar energy, particularly to learn more of its the electronics and other things related to solar energy. So this session was particularly useful for me. This is a particularly academic background. So what I'm thinking is that in the free time or whenever I have in my friend circle, so I will be wanted to be like a solar business associate, which you have mentioned in the last slide, something like that, to promote this solar energy. So this session was useful for me to learn about this technology and the in and outs of other different aspects of solar panels and other things related to solar energy. So I hope I will be using it, recommending few of my friends and all who are looking to install solar power in their home use.
Thank
So
you,
this
sir.
session was useful, sir. Being a IIM alumni, so whenever you said that in the first slide, I have no backing. I was continuously present throughout your presentation. It was very lucid, and because for me, it's no, I'm not a engineer like computer, electrical and electronic
Fine,
engineer.
sir. Yeah, yeah.
So whatever the 12th basics I know, I could able to understand it through my experience, and I will also watch your YouTube videos very frequently to gain more
Thank
knowledge
you, sir.
about solar.
Thank you, sir. I'll mute you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Even I, okay, I'll take Mr. Ajay. Yes, Mr. Ajay.
Hi, sir. Good evening.
Good evening.
Very nice sessions going in this quarantine days.
Sir, your intro, please.
Sir, myself Ajay Illa. I trained from Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Kendra as a trainee. Then I worked as a technician in few companies.
Okay.
Then took some contracts, and then afterwards I became as a site engineer in Swadeshi Energy in Hyderabad.
Okay.
Now I am a solar trainer in Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Kendra.
Great, sir.
So,
You're a solar trainer.
This is my introduction.
Fine, sir. Thanks a lot, sir. So,
Yes, sir. So I answered about Agarwal ji, about that
okay.
HP,
Yes, sir. Yes.
125 HP.
Thanks
So
for your-
I just calculated that load only. So
Great.
you explained it very nicely. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
I'm very
Thank you.
satisfied with your
Thank you.
sessions.
Mr.
Thank
Ajay, I would request you are from Andhra, Hyderabad, right, sir? So if you have
Yes, sir.
any candidates who are looking for job opportunities, you can.
Yes, sir. My students are there. Almost 90 students are there.
So
in
we
my
have a participants
institute.
from Hyderabad, Gigawatt Solar. They were looking for solar candidates. So
Yes, sir.
kindly
I know that. I know Rajesh sir.
Fine. Thank you, sir.
Personally.
I'll mute you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
I'll take Mr. Dumpala Siddharth, if I'm right. Hello. Yes.
So this is Siddharth, sir.
Yes, sir. Tell me.
Sir, I'm a new join this course. Sir, you are explaining is super, sir. Nice.
Thank you. About yourself,
Sir.
sir, what you do? Yes, sir.
Sir, I'm a working in Gigawatt Solar Company in Hyderabad.
Okay. Got
Yes,
it.
sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So even
Thank you,
in
sir.
okay, thank you, sir. So even in my last 10 years experience in solar, I have not given enough training sitting continuously to my team 7 days at a stretch, and it happens only once in a quarter. So I think Gigawatt Solar has taken the full benefit. And I'll unmute Mr. Rudramurthy.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, I am a senior project engineer in Chennai, CP Aquaculture India Private. This is my company.
Okay, CP Aqua is my client.
Yeah, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, sir. Sir. Yes, sir. Your class last time take is 7 days. Very nice, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, another I have one doubt of your making the solar panel, sir, for capacity. So
Okay.
last time you told for 125 kilowatt the motor, crush motor, sir.
Okay.
you told about the selection of the solar panels, but I have a doubt. Is the maximum power reaching around 12 o'clock only, but starting time 6 o'clock, it's around you show the graph 2 kilowatt, 3 kilowatt, just like increasing. But I cannot use the time for 125 kilowatt crusher motor, na, sir. Oh, what is the
Fine, sir. I'll answer you, sir. Yeah, I'll mute you. Okay.
Yeah, sir. Thank you.
I'll not mute you. I'll not mute you. Okay. Kindly understand that solar on-grid power plant is not a power backup. Neither it's a source of complete power. Fine. Let's say you need 100 kilowatt power, and
Yes,
if
sir.
let's say you need 100 kilowatt power, and let's say I have a 200 kilowatt solar plant. Fine. So at any point of time, the 200 kilowatt plant will not give you a 200 kilowatt output, right? Agree? So
Yes, sir. That only I have doubt, sir.
so anytime the balance remaining power, so the sine wave is like this. So the balance remaining power has to come from EB, electricity, or a generator. Fine. So we are talking about an on-grid system to just save your electricity units. Fine. So in the case of a crusher, let's say at 8 o'clock, they switch it on, and at 8 o'clock, a 100 kilowatt plant will generate only 20 kilowatt. So balance 80
Yes,
kilowatt.
sir. That only that time cannot run for 125 kilowatt motor, sir.
Absolutely, it can't run. You have to have a backup supply, reference supply. So automatically it will come in. Example, simple case, at 12 o'clock peak time, you have a passing cloud, what you have seen. The generation drops down. So you can't compromise
Yes,
on your load. Your load will be keep running. So automatically EB will come into the picture. So EB power will increase. So that's the beauty of this technology. It happens automatically and your load doesn't know at all. And we save on the electricity bills. So that's the whole
Yes, sir. Just
fundamental
we
behind
save the
this.
yes, just to save the this electricity only, sir, for the net metering. For on-grid
Yes.
system,
Yes.
we can save the only unit give to the government. That is only.
Yes, the on-grid system is an investment system, sir. You save on your units, you save on your electricity cost.
Yeah, that's
Fine?
all only.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Thank
Understand,
you.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. So I'll take Mr. Sandeep Salhotra.
Hello, Jitendra ji. I am Sandeep Salotra. I am from Pune, from Murphy Batteries. We are into UPS and batteries. We manufacture tubular batteries also in Pune.
Great.
And we have a network across quite a bit of Maharashtra. I had taken this up for my orientation. Basically, I'm not into solar. But yes, we do supply batteries for solar applications, and looking forward maybe in the future for some, to come into it maybe, or be a channel partner sort of a thing. So I had a good orientation with you, and nice way of basically spending the time at home understanding these things. Thank you so much, sir. It was really lovely.
Thank you, sir. We wish you that you start your solar business as soon as possible. And yes, apart from this 1 hour session, what it goes, but in the background, I spend almost like 2 hours per day to make this presentation to understand
I
what
can
could be clarified. Yeah, thanks a lot, sir.
I also wanted to understand one more thing from you, sir. There are lithium batteries now being used to store power, when we are using a solar plant also. So have you used it, and what is your experience with it?
Fine, I'll mute you, sir. So I'll answer you, but I'll mute you. Yes.
Yeah.
So we have installed around 5 solar plants with lithium battery. So it becomes an off-grid, right? Instead of having a lead acid battery, we have installed a lithium ferrophosphate battery. Quickly, it will need one more day session to do this. So quickly, the advantages are: one is the space, second is the aesthetic, efficiency, and the weight, and no maintenance. So being an expensive product, most of these applications have gone to the niche customers, individual villas who are building bungalows or who are having offices, people who can spend. The cost is around 1.5 times than the normal off-grid system. Let's say you spend 1 lakh, this is around 1.5 lakhs. The beauty is your efficiency side. The charging is faster, 3 times faster charging. And the efficiency side, let's say in lead acid battery, if the efficiency is around 70%, we are talking about 95% efficiency, and it can deep discharge, and it can retain, the lithium battery can retain the power if not used for almost 6 months. So that's the best advantage, and obviously no maintenance, no distilled water, It's fit and forget. So the manufacturers talk about 2,500 cycles. In terms of solar usage, it would work around 10 to 12 years. So that's the advantage. I'll move to Mr. Galaxy A7. Sorry, your name is not here. I've unmuted you, sir. Galaxy A7. Okay, I'll move to Mr. Vignesh.
Sir, good evening, sir. This is Vignesh from Tada, sir.
Yes, Mr. Vignesh.
Sir, I completed my engineering last year and I am working as trainee in this automobile company.
Okay.
Okay, I have a doubt on why solar panels are using for only approximately like 36 cells and 72 cells.
Okay. Okay, fine. Good, sir. We have asked this question 2 to 3 times. We'll answer you.
Yes, sir.
I'll mute you, sir.
Okay.
Okay. Now his specific question is why a solar panel comes with 36 cells or 60 cells or 72 cells? Who has standardized this? Fine. It's basically the manufacturers have standardized this based on to have a specification, a universal specification. This thing created. Let's say if somebody manufactures a 45 cells, somebody manufactures 35 cells, improper sizing. If you have noted, all the 300 watt peak modules, 300 to 325 or 370 watt peak module, comes in a size of 2 meters into 1 meters, which is constant for all the manufacturers. So that's a standardization. So when you have a two-wheeler, so you have some specific standard followed by all the automobile industry. So similarly, that's the standard for the frame, so that your structures are compatible and lifting is easy. So that is the standard followed by all the manufacturers. Only you have to decide the different makes what you want to buy. Coming to the cells, why 36 cells? So repeating 36 cells is equal to 12 volt. So most of these 36 cells are used in off-grid system. Off-grid systems, we have the technology of lead acid battery, where each battery is 12 volt, fine. And most of the inverters are with the 1000 VA 12 volt system or 2000 VA 24 volt system. So being battery being at 12 volt, 12 volt, 12 volt, so the solar panel has to work with this, right? The solar panel has to be a 12 volt or a 24 volt to match your off-grid system. So that is one reason of standardization. And second reason of, let's say 36 or 2 or 72 cells, that is the maximum cells. 72 cells is the maximum number of cells which can be accommodated in 2 meter into 1 meter. So that is the reason behind the standardization, so that your usage becomes easier. So you have only 3 available in the market and you buy that. Let's say if you want any customization, let's say for example, you need a 50 cell. Just for an example, if you have a good volumes, the solar panel manufacturers can do a customization, give you 50 cells solar panel if the volumes are there. Thank you, sir. I trust I have answered your question. I'll take Mr. Netaji. Sir, your intro.
Yeah, I'm audible. So good evening, sir. This is Netaji. I'm taking care of solar manager here in Chennai. So my question was, what will be that return of investment for hybrid system? As same calculated as on-grid system or somehow different methods are there?
Okay, with respect to, okay, fine, I'll mute it. Now, with respect to off-grid ROI, we have seen the difference in the generation in the chart shown here. Let's say if you have an on-grid system, you'll be generating around 1,600 units per year, 1,600. And then if it's an MPPT off-grid system, you'll be generating around 1,200. If it's a PWM, you'll be generating 1,000 units. Fine, so that's the difference. We have already seen it. So in case of an hybrid, you know that number. So let's say a difference between an on-grid and MPPT off-grid. Fine. The difference in the efficiency is around 25% based on the generation what you have seen in that graph, which is already published this thing. So which means you are generating 25% lesser in an off-grid system if it's an MPPT. What I mean to say is, let's say if you're generating around 4.5 units or let's say 4 units in an on-grid system. In an off-grid system, in an MPPT, you will be generating only 3 units. Fine. So here itself is the difference of around 20%. Fine. So your ROI will be increasing by 20%. Point number 1, right? So your ROI becomes, because your generation lesser, it increases by 20%. Apart from that, you have two more factors. You have to make the cost of maintaining the battery, distilled water greasing, that becomes an additional cost. So that comes in your capex cost. Plus, within 5 years or after 5 years, based on the battery you buy, you have to replace the battery. So again, you have to reinvest on the battery, which means, let's say you buy a system for 1 lakh, an off-grid system, and you say your payback is around 6 years, let's say 7 years. 7 years. After 5 years, you have to replace the 2 batteries, which is again costing around 30,000. So in 10 years time, you're spending 1,30,000, right? So that how the payback system changes in the off-grid system. I would say in off-grid system, the payback would be around 8 to 9 years. If you don't consider an equivalent to an inverter battery. If you, let's say, if you want to buy an inverter battery and you have an option of off-grid, so your cost of the battery remains the same in both, only your savings parts. So 1,30,000 minus your inverter battery 30,000, what you're saying, if you're calculating your differential cost of 70,000, your payback is much faster, let's say 5 to 6 years. Fine. So I'll take Mr. Shiva Kumar from ABS Solar. So I'm unmuting you. 1 minute. I went to, I think he's missing. Okay. I'll take Mr. Dopla Subramukti Galaxy. I'll take Mr. I'll take Mr. Gopinath.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Your intro, please.
Yes. Yeah, I am SR Traders from Chennai.
SR Traders from Chennai. Yes.
Yeah, we are Excite dealer. Now only we are starting for planning for solar installation. That's only we are planning attend the program. Past 2 days only we are attend the program, but the rest of them we are not attended.
Fine.
The
So
session is very good, sir.
thank you, sir. So past 2 days you have completely learned on the on-grid power plant.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
The session is good. How to planning the installation, everything, the structures, how to plan for the structures and everything. We are explained this briefly, sir.
Fine. So as you are from Chennai, so we can help you. We are also from Chennai. So maybe post this lockdown, we can have a one-to-one setting and we can help you in all your solar installations. Thank
Okay,
you,
sir. Sure, sir.
Thank you. And I'll take Mr. Gupta. Mr. Gupta? Mr. Saransh Gupta? Okay. Mr. Punga?
Apology, the session was very much knowledgeable. I am looking for a home battery-based setup in the future.
Okay, sir, we couldn't hear you because of this thing. You're from which company or what you do, sir?
Sir, I am working in a private company.
Okay. Fine. Thank you, sir.
I am looking for a home-based. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you. I've missed anybody. If anybody is missed, would like to introduce themselves. So I'll take Mr. Shiva Kumar. Yes.
Good evening, sir. Thanks for the wonderful session, sir. Very useful for me. Asked to work from ABS Solar in Trichy, Tamil Nadu, sir. Shall I ask in Tamil, sir? Doubt?
கேளுங்க நான் இங்கிலீஷ்ல டிரான்ஸ்லேட் பண்ணிக்கலாம் because most of them are from different parts of India. Yes, tell me. சொல்லுங்க.
ஓகே சார், இப்போ ஆல்ரெடி ஒரு சைட்ல வந்து த்ரீ ஃபேஸ் சர்வீஸ் கனெக்ஷன் இருக்கு சார். அங்கே வந்து இப்போ ஆல்ரெடி சிங்கிள் ஃபேஸ் இன்வெர்டர் வந்து ஒரு ஃபேஸ்ல வந்து கொடுத்து ரன்னிங் ஆயிட்டு இருக்கு. இப்போ நம்ம கஸ்டமர் வந்து அடிஷ்னலா எக்ஸ்டெண்ட் பண்ணணும்னு சொல்லும்போது நம்ம இன்னொரு சிங்கிள் ஃபேஸ் இன்வெர்டரை வச்சுட்டு இன்ஸ்டால் பண்ணிட்டு அதுல இருந்து கனெக்ஷன் எடுத்தது நம்ம இன்னொரு ஃபேஸ்ல வந்து நம்ம கொடுக்கலாமா? அதாவது ஆல்ரெடி ஆறு ஃபேஸ்ல ஓடிட்டு நம்ம ஒய் ஃபேஸ்ல கொடுத்து அந்த மாதிரி ஓட்டலாமா? இல்ல ரெண்டுமே அவுட்புட் எடுத்து பேரலல் பண்ணி, அதாவது எக்ஸாம்பிள் 2 in 1 out அந்த மாதிரி கொடுத்து நம்ம ஒரே அவுட்புட்டா கொண்டாந்து ஒரே ஃபேஸ்லயே கொடுக்கணும்.
சார் பிரசன்ட்டா எத்தனை கிலோவாட் போட்டிருக்கீங்க?
3 kilowatt சார்.
3 கிலோவாட் போட்டிருக்கீங்க. தமிழ்நாடுல போட்டிருக்கீங்க, கரெக்டா சார்?
ஆமா சார், ஆமா சார்.
Okay.
எக்ஸிஸ்டிங் பிளான் சார், ஆல்ரெடி ஓல்டு பிளான்ல இருக்கு, யூனிட் டு யூனிட்.
ஓல்டு நெட் மீட்டிங்ல இருக்கு. சரி, ஓகே ஃபைன். ஓகே, நான் உங்களுக்கு ஓகே.
ஆமா.
Then I'll answer this. First, I'll translate his question in English to benefit all. So his question is, he has already installed for his client a 3 kilowatt system on grid, single phase. The client has a 3-phase meter, so he has synchronized with one of the phases. Fine, one of the phases. This was installed around 2 to 3 years back. Now he's saying the client would like to add one more solar plant, maybe 2 to 3 kilowatt. This question is, should I go for one more single phase inverter separate plant and sync with the second phase which is empty, or the third phase which is empty, or should I couple both the inverters, synchronize and give it in a single phase? Fine. Technically talking, both are possible. Now answering this in terms of revenue point of view from the customer benefit, I'll tell you. Let's say you have 3 phase. If case number 1, if the customer is having all the load on one phase only, let's say R phase, other 2 loads are dummy, he's not using at all. Let's say domestic customer, he'll always have a single phase load. All your light, fans, fridge, all are a single phase. So most of the time he's taking only power from one single phase. Then I would advise synchronize with this itself. Fine. And okay. Now, second thing, let's say he's having 3 phases and he's having consuming power from the Y phase also. So I would say do with this way. So old inverter, new inverter, you're synchronizing it separately. So this combination is also possible. And also you can go to the third. Now I'll tell you the advantage. What you have is it's under the old policy. So irrespective if you install in any of the phases, it's a unit to unit adjustment. So it's your call whether you have to do a parallel or different phases. Both are technically right. But the challenge what we'll have is from the government point of view, from the TNAB point of view, if you install a new solar plant, you're adding let's say 2-3 kilowatt. Let's say you're giving a representation to the TNAB because I'm adding, then your policy will change. You will migrate from your old policy to the new policy, which may not be beneficiary if it's a residential client. So you have to judge or take a call accordingly. Fine. Anybody left, sir? This thing we have only 17 participants. Anybody would like to talk? I'll take Mr. Shiva, SIBA. Hi, Shiva.
Hi, sir. Hi, sir. How are you, sir?
Good, Shiva. Shiva, introduce yourself and any technical questions.
Okay, no problem, sir. I'm Shiva from Optimum Energy Solar System, Chennai. Very thank you for your support, all the solar products and solar things.
Thank you, Shiva. So I'll thank you.
Okay, please update another program also.
Let's hope the lockdown ends and we start working.
Okay.
Thanks, Shiva. So
okay, thank you.
If you want to talk on specifically any few more programs or any specific topic you would like to learn, let me know. Let me give me a personal WhatsApp or put it in the group. Maybe I could frame a presentation, could be on lithium battery or storage or in water heaters. Let me think on it and we can have one more session or such more sessions. Okay. Thank you, Shiva. Thanks for your feedback.
Please share all your knowledge to all of us.
Thank you, Shiva. Thank you.
Thank
you, sir. Yeah. Anybody else? Mr. Gupta has raised his hand. I'll take him and then I will quickly close the session in next 2 to 3 minutes. Fine. So we are reaching our time. I'll unmute Mr. Gupta.
Hello.
Yes, Mr. Gupta. Yes.
Yeah. Sir, this is Saransh Gupta from Gigawatt Solar. I'm the design engineer there.
Yes.
So my question is that suppose we go for a big project, suppose 50 kilowatt or 50 kilowatt. The client asks us what would happen suppose the company, the manufacturer of the panels shut down, they go bankrupt in some time.
Okay.
So who will take care after that? Who will take care of those panels? Suppose it is under warranty and it gets damaged, so who will replace them? So we have faced these type of questions.
Okay. It's a tough question to answer. See, when the solar panel manufacturers talks about 25 years performance guarantee, luckily panels, the technology itself is good that in my 10 years experience, I have hardly replaced any panel, which means if you go with a good company, reliable company which has a proper R&D, they don't import everything from China, only the technology, and they do it here. And financially a strong company, if you check the balance sheet, if you check the service center, how many people they have, the R&D kind of solar manufacturing unit they have, if you visit them, do a due diligence, then you will be able to find a good company. So that would be best thing a solar dealer like you or me can do. We could get the best thing from the market and give it to the client. We could recommend to the client. Over and above that, because of the bad.
So should we explain them about the company, that this company is this one, this has this R&D facility, so this will not stop?
Yes. So obviously we are giving the best out of the market. See, even in the Indian market, we have three choices: A, B, and C. The best, average, and the medium on three different pricing. So if you want to, as a dealer or as an integrator, you want to sustain a long-term relationship. Because with my experience, I'll tell you, last 10 years, we have installed around close to, so we have supplied for around 800 solar plants. And I'm in good books of my first customer who has called me day before yesterday for some troubleshooting. He had a power cut and this thing. So that's the rapport, that's the plant works. So once you are freezing on the right manufacturer, you have a full confidence nothing would go wrong with that solar panel, even if they go bankrupt, right? And with respect to bankruptcy, even good banks are defaulting. So I don't have an answer to that. That's a complete commercial question. Go with they always recommend the best thing in the market. Go with the economics of service centers, R&D, the technology, what they use, amount of manpower, and is their core business. That's the core business? That's the only business they do, or it's one of that business. So these are the things which you have to take it for. Right?
Okay. One more thing, sir, if you allow me. So what are the insurance policy available for the solar system, solar power system?
Good question, which I have not covered. See, now solar being organized market and established technology, you have solar policies of two types. Same like your car policy. You have a third-party policy and you have a self-protection policy. What does it mean? So let's say if I installed a 100 kilowatt plant on my school, and if I have a natural calamity like a cyclone or an earthquake, fine. So I've already insured my plant. I have paid a premium for that. There are insurance agency available in most of the United India or ICICI have a solar insurance policy. If you insure your asset, so they would give you the claim value 0.1. If let's assume if your panel falls on somebody else, let's say it falls on somebody's car, fine. So we have to repair that car. You have to pay for that's called third-party damages. Yeah. So you have a third-party insurance also. So that will be also covered under this solar policy. So policies are available in the market. You can always recommend your client to take that such policies, and the premium is not high. It's around 0.5% or 0.8% or lower than that based on the size of the plant.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Gupta.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Anybody else? Will close. Okay. So I'll just check the chat box and then we'll close. So just a minute. Any questions in the chat box? I want to ask about the jerk load in the pressure. Okay, good question. And batteries. Energy given. Okay, so with respect to, I want to ask about the jerk load in the pressure. So the jerk load or the surge current or the starting current of the inductive load will not have an impact on solar on it, because automatically the balance power will come from your grid supply. So don't worry on that because most of the installations that happen in industries where they have 100 kilowatt motors, 200 kilowatt motors. So don't worry on that. So balance, okay, any subsidy from the government for the solar power installation? See, with respect to the subsidy part, okay, the central government last financial year had a policy of 40% for residential customer till 3 kilowatt and 20% if it's less than 10 kilowatt. And this central policy floated by MNRE has to be implemented by the state government. Fine. So few state governments have implemented, and unfortunately in Tamil Nadu, the state governments have not implemented that policy. There is no subsidy in Tamil Nadu as of now. So it depends on your state government. So you can go to your state nodal agency, check on the solar subsidy. Fine. So fine. And on 5BB and 6BB. Okay. Can I know about 5BB and 6BB? Mr. Ajay, I would share the technical details on your WhatsApp. Basically, these are 5 bus bar and 6 bus bar, which is next to next level of a solar panel when you manufacture. Basically, you would have seen my first day video. You have a metal frame on your end junction. The metal frame conductor conducts your electrons flow. So in a simple language, let's say if I have 5 metal conductors or 5 bus bars, which will collect more electrons. So more the bus bars, I'll have more the current flow. So 6 bar will be much better than 5BB. Fine. So this is the most simplest way to answer, but I could share further on your WhatsApp. Yeah. So I would end this session now. So I sincerely thank all the participants who have actively participated, who had learned good knowledge on solar, and I would request you to please share such training programs to others, to your employees, to your friends, to your students, to your employees or your friend who are looking for new business opportunities. Solar is one of the best options because the industry is going at more than 100%. For example, let's say we had simplest example, let's say we had Doordarshan in earlier days, then we had set-top boxes or dish TV. Now every house has a dish antenna. You have your D2H, right? Now we have Amazon Fire Sticks on a Wi-Fi. So every house has this. So once the price becomes more affordable, or we have a story of 20% ROI. So once the volume produces, every roof will have a solar because you know what is the savings we are getting. And at present, if you talk about on the investment point of view, to be honest with you, if you study the market, whether it's to gold, silver, or shares, this system would always give you more than 20% returns. So it's very advisable. People who have knowledge, who have already educated on this, like to go for solar. Okay. So if you have any further suggestion, please ping me on WhatsApp. So we'll end here. And thank you once again. So request you to kindly subscribe my YouTube channel so that I could share more technical aspects. And second thing, kindly fill your enrollment forms so that I could help or support anybody who needs specific help. And third thing, I would also share a link later to give your positive feedbacks on or reviews on that link. Thank you once again. Thank you so much. Thank you.